Hey guys, it's Urban Combat Kill here, back on Borderlands 2. I'm on the Bloodshot Stronghold, and I am here to talk about the Hunt 2017, an event that was put on last week by Gonza, Gearbox, and Gathalion. And I gotta say, it has been the most fun I've had on Twitch. Um, it was great to dive back into Borderlands 2. I started a Gaige character from the very beginning, and it was just an absolute blast to to do this event. So basically, we had to start a character from scratch, and we basically had a list of legendaries that we had to get. We had to turn the badass rank off, which I turned back on because we're done with the hunt. But anyway, it was an absolute blast. It was a lot of fun. I had to work, so I didn't stream, all the time, like I would have liked to. Next week, if an event like this happens, I would like to take the whole week off and just stream nonstop, as much as possible. Yeah. So let's talk about what happened. I basically, due to the lack of time I was able to stream this. I wasn't really able to farm any legendaries, but I got a surprising number of legendaries from just playing the game. It seemed like nearly every boss dropped a legendary that they were supposed to drop. The only ones I did farm, the Hornet in the beginning, and I farmed the Bee at the end after beating the Warrior. I farmed Hunter Hellquist for the Bee. And I did farm the treants and stuff and Tiny Tina's DLC for the Bee, but I ended up not getting it. So on Monday during the end of the hunt, while I was streaming, I got raided by Ki11erSix and ProfessorBroman, and it was incredible. It was an incredible experience. Thank you so much. For the raids. It was actually amazing. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to talk about the build. So let's talk about the build. I don't remember what this build is called, but it's a build that I always use with Gaige. So I'm going to talk about that. First is basically the most important thing with this build is survivability. So it was basically streamlined to survive the best through this specific playthrough for the hunt. So the first thing I did was get Anarchy, which basically gives you plus 1.75% gun damage, and then it takes away 1.75% accuracy per stack. You can have a maximum of 150 stacks, although that can be improved with other perks. Then we have Smaller, Lighter, Faster, which increases the reload speed, which for me is a must because I hate reloading. And it takes away the magazine size, not very much. The reason for this is because one of the best weapons to use with Gaige that I like to use is those shotguns that have only one blast per magazine, or they might have two blasts per magazine, but because of Smaller, Lighter, Faster, they actually that gets reduced to one. And since every time you reload you get a stack of Anarchy, you just boom, 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 you get your Anarchy stacks really quickly. And then that also impacts this Shock and Awe perk here, that when you use it, every time you reload, it causes an explosion. So then it's not just boom, boom, but just boom, then boom. It's like boom, boom, boom. So every time you reload, an explosion kills enemies next to you. I mean, this basically, this build is excellent for unleashing Death Trap. And like, for example, in Bloodshot Stronghold, I can probably, with one session of Death Trap, clear every room all the way up to Mad Mike. And up until the suck hole. Like, not clear the suck hole, but get up there and clear all the enemies. I mean, that's how powerful it is. In the normal playthrough. And and TVHM, true vault filter. Yeah, TVHM and UVHM, that's not necessarily going to happen, but at least not at first. But so yeah, moving on, we got Robot Rampage, which he lashes out with a flurry of attacks. This is definitely needed. It gives him another attack, a spinning attack that just continually hits for 8-9 hits of damage, which is really great. Although actually, I get that after Blood-Soaked Shields, because Blood-Soaked Shields make it so that whenever you kill an enemy, your shield gets restored. So this makes Gaige nearly invincible, because every time you kill an enemy, your shield gets restored. And when you're using the shotgun, you basically, all the trash mobs, like the guys that chase after you, everything, boom, one shot kills them, boom, instantly your shield gets regenerated. So we talked about Robot Rampage. Discord is the next thing I get. No, it's not that cool thing that everybody has on Twitch. Basically it makes skull and crossbones, like the punk girl, like Monster High School, skull and crossbones fly across the screen with a pink hue, and it gives you health regeneration, accuracy, fire rate, and a bunch of stuff. You constantly lose anarchy stacks while you're doing it, but it gives you health regeneration, and it is important to be able to heal in this game. It will save your life. So from that point, we change over to the Best Friends Forever tree, because towards the end of the playthrough, Death Trap will start to die a lot. Because towards the beginning, you're only going to lose him when the timer runs out, but towards the end, he's going to actually start getting killed. So the first thing I do is max out Close Enough, because this goes well with Anarchy. Because since Anarchy ridiculously lowers your accuracy to a point where you could be hitting them in the head with a headshot and you never get a headshot, Close Enough will make it so that any bullets that do not hit your enemy will ricochet back and hit a close enemy nearby. So basically, even if you miss, you hit the enemy, it ends up being so ridiculous that you don't even have to aim. You could shoot away from people and you still hit them. I actually have a clip of me one-shotting 3 guys with 1 shotgun blast because of this skill perk right here. Next, I get 5 of 5 in Fancy Mathematics. This makes your shield recharge insanely fast, because the shield delay can be, even though it's a few seconds, some of the best shields in the game that give you the highest amount of shield are a 4 or 5 second shield regeneration delay. That is cut significantly in half by 70%, as you can see here, which is extremely potent. Now you might be thinking, but wait a minute, Urban, you just talked about, like, here, Blood-Soaked Shields, when you kill an enemy, it gives you 100% of your shields back. Why do you want to have this? Well, see, because imagine you're fighting a boss, or you're fighting somebody, and there's no mobs around that you can kill to get your shields back. If you get your shields knocked out, and you have to wait 5 seconds to get your shields back, that kind of sucks. So, but obviously, even better is to get a shield that doesn't take 5 seconds to recharge. Let me see what we got here. Well, I get the B, but that's not what I'm using. So I'm using this Explosive Nova Shield. The recharge delay is 5 seconds. That's okay. So I had one before that was lower, but still 70% less. That means that 5 seconds gets turned into at least 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds it starts regenerating. Because let me tell you, if you're fighting a boss, 5 seconds is forever. 5 seconds is literally 5 seconds too long. You need to regenerate your shield as soon as possible. Then, after we get a 5 in this, we get Upshot Robot, so that basically it allows you to be able to keep Death Trap for a longer period of time. Every time you or Death Trap get a kill, his timer is increased by 5 seconds, and you also get a stack of Upshot Robot, which gives you increased melee damage. This stacks. I don't believe there's a limit to how much it can stack. I apologize. I cannot breathe right now. It's causing some issues. But next we go to Maid of Stern. Or actually, we go to Potent as a Pony, which increases the maximum health for you and Death Trap. This will start to begin to aid and to stop Death Trap from dying. And to give you more health as well. Then after that, we go to Maid of Sterner stuff. You may wonder, why did we only get 4 points in this? It's because the 4 in this plus the 1 of this enables this, and we want to get to Sharing is Caring as fast as possible. So we have 4 and then 1 in here, and then we put 5 points in Maid of Sterner stuff. This will actually increase your damage reduction from all sources for you and Death Trap. And gives Death Trap even more melee damage, which is really, really good. I have 8 of 5 because I have the Stern Roboteer class mod, which gives you +3 in the Maid of Sterner stuff skill. So after we get 5 in Maid of Sterner stuff, you will be able to start getting points and 20% cooler. And you will get up to a 30% cooldown rate for Death Trap when you max this out. Which, don't ask me why it's 20% cooler, but the max is 30%. I don't know. Then after that, you get Sharing is Caring, which grants a copy of your shield to Death Trap, complete with all the bonuses and benefits your shield provides. So basically, that means if you have the B shield, he will have the massive things on the B shield. If you have the Nova shield, he'll have a Nova and all that stuff. Now, so after we get here, we can go back into the ordered chaos tree and we can start to fill some of this stuff out. You want to get pre-shunk cyberpunk filled out. This will add up so that you can have up to a total of 400 stacks of anarchy, which is mind-blowing. I don't even know, but I have the number in my head that if you have the I believe it's the Slayer of Terramorphous or something, you get like 700 anarchy stacks or 600 anarchy stacks, which gives you a whopping 1050% damage buff. It's just incredibly insane. You want to get type class, iconoclast, because this will give you a chance that when you get Anarchy, you gain an additional stack, so you can get up to a 30% chance. So every time you get a stack of Anarchy, when you reload your gun, you have a chance, 30% chance you get 2 instead of 1, which is always good because 2 is always better than 1. Then you get here, Rational Anarchist. You want to get this because if you have 0 stacks of Anarchy, you will have a chance. No, it's not even a chance. You're guaranteed. You will get 25 Anarchy stacks when you get 1. So instead of getting 1, you'll get 25. This will help you build up your Anarchy stacks. So then, don't want to get that. This is kind of like a crapshoot. It's not very good. But if you want to get the Death Claws with Claws, which is a pretty good perk, you can get this, and it'll give her another way to restore her health and give you a melee buff. I like this because I like using melee. Some people might actually consider this a waste because this is pretty much trash, the nth degree, but in order to get the claws, you have to do at least, what was it, like 4 points in the nth degree? I don't know, something like that. It's crazy. You don't need 5 because we put so many points up here. So then what I recommend is, after that, finishing out with going to the little Big Trouble tree. You can get you can max out more pep. You can max out myelin. You can do a combination as long as you get 5 points. The reason I say whichever is up to you, because this gives you a higher chance to do elemental damage, while this gives you shock resistance. Shock resistance is going to be a godsend for preventing your shield from going down to 0, because one of the biggest things that's an issue is when you take shock damage and your shield is depleted immediately. That is one of the largest causes of Gaige's death in the game. Now, the thing is a lot of people, it's controversial. A lot of people say more pep is broken. A lot of people say myelin is broken. It kind of depends on what you believe. And my controller just took shit the bed. I heard stuff. Alright, so yeah, I don't know what's going on with my controller. Alright, so my controller just crapped out for some reason, so I'm going to start using the mouse. So basically, yeah, like I said, you can pick one of these guys. Which one you want to pick depends on, what you believe and what you think might be the best. Survivability sounds like this one might be the best. You could choose this one. Either way, whichever one you choose, then I move to get 5 points and strength of 5 gorillas. It increases the melee damage for you in Death Trap, which again is very good if you like melee. And I like it because the stare is not a very good ability, because Death Trap's AI is pretty flawed. He already has a problem that seems to be a lot better now, but he has an issue sometimes where he'll just stand around and do nothing. So his AI is not the best, and you want to avoid things like this stare here, and like over here you have actually I think it's here, like 1-2 boom. This is complete trash. Sometimes he'll throw it under the map. Sometimes he'll throw it like where nobody is. You can never trust Death Trap to do what you want him to do, so you want to avoid stuff where you have to kind of trust him to do the right thing. Shock Storm, again, I like the melee damage more. And then one of the most important things is to get Shock and All, because again, every time you reload, it's going to cause an electrical explosion. That's going to be really awesome for clearing out rooms really fast. Now, in order to get this, I was thinking that for Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, in which slag is extremely important, it may be a good idea to get Interburst Outburst so that you can basically, deal bonus slag damage to enemies so that you can take more damage off of them. For this to happen, you'll probably have to get rid of some of the perks in here, or some of the perks in here. But all this stuff really adds to Death Trap's survivability, and you really don't want to kind of give up on that stuff. So I don't know. It's up to you. I also recommend looking on the Gearbox forums. There's a lot of Gaige builds on there. I didn't look at any of the forums because I pretty much know up until this point pretty well, these two trees, I kind of know what to get and what not to get. When it comes to getting up to level 72 and getting the final build, I would need to consult some other sources for that. So yeah, so basically that's the build, and basically what I use is I have the Stern Robot here class mod, which decreases the cooldown. This plus 20% cooler really lowers the cooldown of Death Trap, which is really awesome. And for the hunt, I've left it on the rare loot chance. Whenever fighting any of the enemies that gave legendaries. Otherwise, I would put it on the 5.1% XP gained from combat to hasten the leveling experience. Escape, cancel. I hit the wrong one. And, you know, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much to talk about with the weapons and stuff like that because it is what it is. I will have to say that this weapon is absolutely amazing. I will be doing a video on this. This thing shreds. I'm sure other people have done videos on it, but this thing, it's easy to find in the where you find the Firehawks in the beginning. It's in a puddle of water. It's just laying there, and it's a really awesome weapon that shreds. I mean, you see the fire rate. It's an automatic weapon that does 2,000 per bullet. It's nuts. And that's it, man. So catch you guys back on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch to know when I'm live. I'm live every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Friday from 6 p.m. on until 10. So give me a follow on Twitch, and I will see you online. Peace.